Hey guys, welcome to the new Movie Thing show.
Hi, I'm Joe Beretta.
And I'm Steve Zaragoza.
Today we're talking about The Wolf on Wall Street.
The
Wolf of Wall Street. The Wolf on Wall Street was a completely different, it's a porno.
It's actually an animated.
Yeah, it's really good.
This movie is in theaters, but if you don't want to go to the theater and you want to stay home and watch movies in the comfort of your own home in your underwear, you can go to netflix.com/SourceFed and we'll give you a month of movies. That's us.
You can watch movies on us.
Yeah.
Like literally, like we'll come over to your place, you can sit on us.
Boom.
Okay, so this is the new Scorsese film, and we were super excited to get in and see it because we're both massive Scorsese fans. And just right off the bat, I will say this movie is, how do I want to describe it? I want to describe this movie like this. This is if Goodfellas, Scorsese's classic gangsta movie,
Debatably his greatest movie.
debatably, it's one of my favorites, had sex with Boiler Room, the movie, on coke, and they spit out a crazy baby. That's what this movie is. It's basically, it's Goodfellas minus violence and guns and replace it with drugs and boobs.
It sheds a light on the stock market world that like we don't really talk about and no one ever really thinks about.
Kind of like a dark underbelly that we all assume, but in this instance, it's told through the up and down life story of Jordan Belfort, who was a real man who basically took advantage of everybody to rise to the top, and due to his hubris, like most Scorsese films, it shows his downfall.
Yeah, he's a real shitbag, it seems.
Yeah, Jordan Belfort was a son of a bitch.
Yeah, totally. I mean, and you see, I don't know how much of the movie is fiction. I mean,
It's based off of Jordan Belfort's book that he wrote
yeah.
about his own life, and that's, you know, his own life account of an egomaniac, so
Right.
you don't know what's embellished or how much is true. But they took that, and they originally Ridley Scott was going to direct this movie, and then it would have been crazy, would have been a totally different movie, and then it went into Scorsese's hands, and it makes sense in Scorsese's hands for sure.
And something we should mention right off the top of the bat here, before you go into this movie, you need to realize that it's like well over 3 hours.
It's long. You guys, it's super long.
Very, very long.
There's like a moment, like 2 hours and 40 minutes in, where you'll sit there going, you know what, there's probably like a half an hour of this I didn't need to watch, but I'm gonna be okay with it because it's Scorsese.
Yeah, and that's the thing, it is Scorsese, and you go into it thinking, okay, I'm gonna be blown away by Scorsese mastery, basically, and you are.
Yeah.
It's just that you do get to a point where you're like, oh my god, the next time I see this movie, I'm gonna have to plan around it. I'm gonna have to plan my
it's
whole
like
day
watching
around
a Lord of the Rings extended edition.
Exactly.
Good lord.
Yeah, and I will watch it again.
Yeah.
But so Scorsese, fantastic actor.
Yeah,
Let's get into the
let's talk
actors.
why it's good, and it is because of the performances.
Right.
Like across the board, I think it's the performances that really make it watchable. You should also know that but a lot of this movie was improvised.
Yeah.
So you get that feeling from the actors, especially from Jonah Hill, who probably helped spearhead those moments. But because of that, you also get this like super loosey-goosey Scorsese editing, which is loosier and goosier than most times.
It has to be an intentional thing. It has to be Scorsese sitting there going, I don't give a fuck.
I think that's what it is. I think it's
works.
Scorsese just be like, I'm Scorsese!
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. It works.
I'm Scorsese!
Yeah. My eyebrows! This movie is absolute insanity from the start. Like, it's just, it is, and talking about the actors, it is the actors that make the movie good.
So we start off with DiCaprio. I've yet to see a movie that I don't enjoy him in.
Yeah.
He's just solid. He's solid leading man material. He gets it is kind of a comedy, so he gets the comedy of it. He gets the humor.
Which is cool because you think about DiCaprio and you're like, can this guy do straight up comedy? Like we haven't seen him do straight up comedy yet.
And it's not straight up comedy, but it's like Goodfellas, but lighthearted,
or
I suppose, with the tone.
Or it's like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, in the sense that movie's not specifically a comedy, but it's so wacky as shit, and the performances are comedic.
Verbal comedy, lots of physical comedy.
Lots of physical stuff.
And Leonardo DiCaprio did a lot of the physical comedy. It's really funny. The one specific scene, and you guys will know what I'm talking about, is just this super drawn-out Charlie Chaplin-esque scene. It's really good. It's really funny.
So, you know DiCaprio's amazing. Let's push him aside for a second. We got Jonah Hill, who's doing another kind of like big, I mean, this guy's blowing up.
Jonah Hill's good in it. He's really good.
He's great. The funny thing is, though, I can't stop thinking about Eric Wareheim from Tim and Eric with the big
teeth,
capped teeth, and his like the glasses and his like overly goofy kind of like that made me laugh. But yeah, he's great.
Him and Jonah Hill and Leonardo DiCaprio are basically the two like main leads of the movie. I feel, and DiCaprio's great. I don't get tired of him. Jonah Hill's also really good in it. But by the end of a 3.5-hour movie where Jonah Hill kind of just got to go off in an improvisational manner, I was kind of done with him.
Yeah. And there were those points where you're like, oh no, don't Apatow this up. Don't Apatow this up. This is a Scorsese movie.
But still, super solid. The other quick point is that all of these actors that we're about to talk about, it seems like Scorsese gave each one of them just a really amazing scene, a moment to shine. Everybody had like a little back and forth, a good verbal, funny scene, starting with who we think stole the show, Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
You kind of see his best stuff in the trailers, sadly. Like,
he's not in it that long.
He's not in it that long, but he's just so good. And some improvised moment in the movie that Matthew McConaughey made up on the spot, or like
becomes like a crutch of the movie,
yeah,
like one of the main things. You remember when Judi Dench won an Oscar for like 8 minutes of screen time back in the day?
Yeah.
I forget what movie that was. She played the Queen, I think.
Right,
or something.
something like that.
I bet you Matthew McConaughey for his less than 10 minutes gets a best supporting actor nomination.
Yeah, for sure. I'd vote for that for sure.
Matthew McConaughey's great, and then there's just like a bunch of other people
bunch of character people. Ethan Suplee's in it. Oh, Spike Jonze is in it.
Oh, that's fun. He did all these like director cameos.
That's so weird.
Spike Jonze, Rob Reiner, and Jon Favreau all have really elongated speaking roles in this movie. It's really cool. It's
we might be missing more too.
Yeah, we probably are. One that some of you might know that follow internet comedy. Back in the day, there was this group called Pete and Brian. They were an internet comedy duo, super funny. One of them is one of the main
like one of the ensemble guys
in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just sitting there like I love you. I'm just so jealous. I envy everything that you're doing right now. You asshole.
Yeah. Who else do we have? We have
Kyle Chandler's in it.
Okay. Yeah. He's great. Eyebrows. He's got some prominent eyebrows too.
Plays a cop.
Yeah.
Weird. And then the guy, I can't think of his name right now. You might know it from The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, I don't know his name either, but he was that guy in Walking Dead. Oh, we have to talk about.
Oh, and then the leading lady.
Oh my God, Margot Robbie.
This 24-year-old foreign actress is stunning.
She's a heartthrob. That girl is about to blow up big time.
And she, aside from her very gorgeous look, she did great in the movie.
Yeah. She actually carried her own in scenes with Leo, which is crazy because can you imagine imagine being cast in a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio alone, and then imagine having multiple scenes, sex scenes with Leonardo DiCaprio, and having to kind of like reach that level of at least being able to carry a scene with him. That's crazy. She handled her own and did fantastically, I thought, and hopefully she goes on to a great career and we get to see her boobs some more.
Oh, you'll see them a lot. Okay, so let's get out of the acting and move on to nudity and drugs and all that stuff. This whole movie is just debauchery.
Yeah, it's just a big old party
from the start to end. It's a party. It's just drugs and sex constantly in the world of Wall Street money, and they just. I think he purposefully created this world of excess throughout the movie because they wanted you to know how ridiculous it was back in the 90s before everything fell apart.
Yeah, plus you get that. And by the way, we need to mention that it is a period movie for most of it. It's like 70 or like 80s, I guess.
No, it's 80s, 90s. It's mostly 90s.
80s, 90s? Okay.
If the 90s are a period now, it's a period piece.
Yeah, the 90s is a period, I guess. Yeah, good point. And so it's like the height of cocaine in New York.
Yeah, so it's super liberal in the drug use, super liberal in the nudity. If you're not comfortable with that, shut up.
But the thing is like, I don't understand, like, this is a Scorsese film, so you're obviously going to do a lot of research when you're portraying drug usage in a movie. Obviously, there's a lot of heightened drug usage because it's told from the perspective of the main character, who throughout the film, being the narrator, Leonardo DiCaprio, also is kind of spinning yarns as the movie goes along too. And who knows, like you said, how much of it is just blown out of proportion. But I think at one point in the movie, he talks about how he did enough drugs to get an entire city high for 7 years or something. And he talked about his daily pill use. I take this to wake up, and then I take this to go to sleep, and then this to wake back. And it's like all crazy drugs that would kill a horse, pretty much. And that blows my mind that there are people in charge with so much money doing that much drugs. Like, it really is an eye-opener. It's funny in the movie, the way they portray it, and it is like you laugh at the silly antics, like throwing little people and doing the craziest shit, having orgies on an airplane, like literally everyone's naked and just fucking on a plane. And you think about how these people are on drugs, that probably isn't a stretch. That might
like it is a stretch.
really happen in
And
this world.
maybe it wasn't a stretch specifically for this guy who
Yeah.
was notorious for just screwing people over and getting to the top of the financial industry because of it.
And in the process, losing the people he loves and all that good
Yeah.
storytelling shit.
Okay, boom. We talked a lot about it. Give me some likes and some gripes.
So my likes, absolutely, more than anything, the performances. Again, we've already talked about it. It's
That's
all
what
of the
carries
acting.
the film.
Exactly. Like, and this is a good theory that I've talked about with a lot of movie nerd friends about how can a movie still be amazing if like maybe the script isn't good. Not saying that this
Yes,
is an
it can.
example of the movie that of a not good script, but just saying can a movie still be good with a bad script
Yes.
but amazing actors?
Yes.
I think so, and I don't know if this is a case of that.
Not so much vice versa. If an actor can't carry
Yeah.
the words on the script, the best script ever,
Yeah.
the Schindler's List of scripts,
Yeah.
then the message is lost.
Yeah, because I guess people can essentially be fooled into thinking it's a good movie if the performances are amazing.
Yeah.
We should do an experiment at some point. I don't know if we'll have the money or the means, but let's get like Gary Oldman and like let's throw in who's the guy? Daniel Day-Lewis.
Okay.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
All right.
And hell, let's throw in Jack Nicholson.
Why not?
Matthew McConaughey.
Get over here.
Let's get them all into one movie, and we'll give them the script to like Bebe's Kids or something, or like we'll give the
And they
script
would make
to
it so much better.
Transformers.
What just happened, though, is that you created this amazing list of actors, and then 17 people's heads exploded when you said Matthew McConaughey.
What?
He's great, though. Matthew McConaughey is.
Is!
I think he's in his golden years.
Even in Bernie, did you see Bernie? He was great
Yeah,
in
he's
Bernie.
good. Bernie's good.
Yeah. So likes all the performances. Gripes, again, length. That's the only thing I can really say that's actually bad about the movie. It's just really, really long, but it's Scorsese. You gotta expect that kind of length from his movies. If you love Scorsese, you're going to love the movie. Plan your day around the movie and go see it.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm on board with the performances. I'm also on board with the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Scorsese's great with music.
Yes.
I love it. He's like Departed when all that music, like, yeah, he's so good with music, and he does the same thing in this movie. It's not necessarily scored, but what he takes for the soundtrack, Foo Fighters. He used Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
And he used it so
In with
well.
all this other, it's just
Yeah.
a big mishmash. It's like hitting random on my iPod.
It's the type of
basically.
soundtrack that back in 1990s, where this movie is based, you would have ran out and picked up this soundtrack
Yeah.
on your cassette or for your disc player. What I like about Scorsese is his editing. He's not afraid to go crazy. The way he tells stories, like he'll start off one way, like with a narrator, then he'll drop that and you'll forget about it, and then it'll come back, and then
Yeah.
you realize it doesn't matter. And maybe the way you tell the story isn't important in how you tell that story. Like, you don't have to be locked into a certain method of storytelling, and I think he's great at that. The length was it was tough to handle.
Yeah.
The length was a little much. And then from a movie standpoint, the movie is about, like I said, excess, debauchery, and the hubris of man. And because of that, the movie is kind of one note across the board, almost from start to finish. It's just this excess.
It's kind of reiterating a point.
Yeah, and you
over
don't
over.
get I think the classic highs and lows in the journey of a character with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Sure.
So it's all up here the whole time. The movie never stops, and because of that, even massive amounts of drugs, sex, hot women being naked, that gets tiresome about 2.5 hours in. You kind of want to feel something else from the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
At that point.
What about a score? What score do you give it?
Score, I walked out of the theater giving it a 9 out of 10. I'm now going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I think it's good. I don't think it's his best. I still put Goodfellas above it. I put Gangs of New York above it. I put The Aviator above it. It's definitely better than Shutter Island. But I really like it, and I think it's going to go down for audiences and critics as a Scorsese classic.
Yeah, I want to see it take a lot of awards during award season, because especially with performances, and I do want to see that because, again, it is very much a character-based, performance-based movie. So I give it, I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to go 7 out of 10, just because it's not really my kind of movie. It is a Scorsese film to a T. It's one that I would like to own, and definitely you don't watch it very often because you just can't. It's impossible. It's a beautiful film, It's very well shot, very well. I mean, the editing is a little sloppy, but it's all about the actors. It's all about the characters. If you want to see a good character movie, that's one to pop in.
I think you should go into it knowing that you're going to watch a Scorsese film, but know that it's not gratuitous violence.
Yeah. In fact, I don't think there was any violence at all.
It's gratuitous nudity. And you actually have these moments of almost like M. Night twists, like mini ones, because at every moment towards the end of the movie, you expect everybody to start blowing their heads off.
Yeah. You know? Well, especially because you're like, this is Scorsese. So where's the suicides? And the fucking...
It's gratuitous in a very different way for Scorsese.
So we're not the only ones that saw and reviewed this movie, obviously. Many other people have seen it. On Rotten Tomatoes, critics gave it 91%. And users gave it 99%. That's crazy.
It's going pretty good. A lot of people haven't seen it yet because it's not officially out right now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to that score.
It's out now, but it's not out
well, we're
right
doing
now.
this.
Yeah.
You guys, cameras are time machines.
Oh my God.
I know.
That's it for our review, guys. If you want to go see movies at the theater, go ahead and do that. That's your choice.
It's your life.
But if you'd like to not do that, you can stay home and watch movies on Netflix and join us on our movie club show where we watch and review movies off of the Netflix. You can go to netflix.com/SourceFed, get a whole month of those movies, and watch them with us.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, good times.
Some popcorn and whatnot. Hey, guys, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
I'm Joe Beretta.
I'm Steve Zaragoza.
Want to go do some coke out of my beehole?
I would love to.
All right.
Which way you going?
This way.